We're back and you're listening to the Coffee Corner Radio. I'm Thelma Sugay with Paul Mirador and Miss T. And you just heard the, I'm going to say the beautiful music.
Legendary.
No, legend. I'm going to skip the genius. The beautiful music of Abe Lagermas Jr. And before that, we had Epi, the dog trainer. Now we have two more guests. And you get to sit in on this, Epi and Abe. So you can just feel free to jump in and ask your questions. Now, this next guest flew all the way from San Francisco. They're promoting a movie. It's a bioepic, if I may call it that, of one of the greatest heroes from the Philippines. The last time they actually wrote about this fellow was in the year 1937. Is that right, Eliseo?
No, the last time we had a screening similar to this history-making screening where it was shown before. It was shown in the U.S. before it was shown in the Philippines. Was 1937.
Wow! So we're making history here, and this is all happening on the Coffee Corner Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud and honored to have with us Professor Oscar Peñaranda and the artist himself, who you just heard from, Mr. Eliseo Art Silva. Welcome to the Coffee Corner Radio.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
I know you're still a little tired from that trip, but thank you so much for coming to Santa Clarita.
No problem. Yes. Yeah.
Here on
I didn't fly. I drove over.
You
I've
did
been driving. I've been driving ever since last Saturday. Yeah.
Wow! Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh yeah, sure.
So this is our new home, AM 1220 KHTS. Good-looking Justin is helping us out.
All right. Yeah, it's a matter of
And he
opinion,
really enjoyed Abe there, right, Abe?
This is Elias, good looking, right?
Abe, you've got a new fan in Justin.
Ooh, all right.
Did you enjoy the music of
Oh,
Abe earlier?
Oh yes, I've heard him before.
You have. I heard you.
He plays the drums too, not just.
He does.
Ukulele.
He has multiple talents. This guy.
Yes.
He just can't carry his drums here today. So.
No, he
No,
couldn't. He
it couldn't-
wanted to, but
It couldn't fit in the studio.
no.
Yes, yeah.
If it would have fit in
I
the
tried.
backpack, it would have.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's right, Paul. So listen, I'm excited about this movie.
Yes.
I'm so glad someone sent it to me on Facebook and said there's a screening tonight in Monrovia, and it's entitled General Luna. Talk to us
Yes.
about, for the sake of our viewers here in Santa Clarita, who is General Luna?
Yeah, I'll start. Then Eliseo can take
Absolutely,
over.
yes.
General Luna. It was called General Luna because to sort of differentiate him from the other Luna that some people might be more familiar with.
First names, please, so we can distinguish one from the other.
Yeah, the other Luna was Juan Luna. Juan Luna, who won the painting.
The artist.
The artist in the late 1800s, who won the world competition in Madrid. It was the first place
Wow.
with his painting Spoiliarum. That painting, by the way, is also depicted in this movie that you will see if you see the movie.
Now, are they related?
They're
Brothers.
They are brothers.
Brothers,
Okay.
yeah.
Ilocano brothers.
The Ilocanos, yes.
Okay.
Ilocano, yes.
For those who may not know what Ilocano means, it's a place, it's a region in the Philippines, in the northern part
Yeah,
of Luzon.
Correct,
Ilocos
correct.
Sur.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
So, what was
yeah.
I?
So the
forget what I'm
politician, we're talking about the politician. Was he a politician?
No,
The
no.
brother-
The brother was a painter, right? He won all
And-
kinds of awards, and
Well,
he
Luna
shot
was
his
also a
wife.
politician, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Luna was
Right.
also, he was a diplomat.
Yes,
Right,
that's what I
right.
thought. Yeah. See, I did my homework.
Yeah, which Luna are you talking
I
about?
passed my history.
Is there a middle name of Juan Ponce?
And that's another guy.
Oh, okay, that's another guy. Okay,
Yeah,
because I remember
yeah.
that when I was.
There's
growing
another
up.
guy,
Yeah, yeah.
Ponce, and then there's another guy, Juan Ponce, and really, this is
Yeah,
another
that's
guy.
the more
Three,
current one.
four now,
That's
yeah.
the more current
Yeah.
one.
But we're
so
not
now
gonna
we're
talk about
talking
one.
about
Yeah, we'll talk about one.
General and what's his
General
first name?
Luna, yeah.
Antonio.
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 So Juan was his more famous brother. So Antonio
Younger.
was a younger one, and he really wasn't for the revolution to begin with against Spain because he wasn't thought we were ready. He wasn't. He didn't think we were ready. He wasn't the only one who didn't think we were ready. And
Mabini too, yeah.
I think too that we weren't ready. But then I have the hindsight of history. But once Antonio Luna, decided he was going to fight for the revolution, for the Philippines as a nationhood, we were not fighting Spain anymore. We were fighting the United States because the United States,
Oh, this is that transition.
1888, 1899, pretended they were going to help us beat the Spaniards, but they really wanted to
Take over.
take over and do what the Spaniards
But we love
did to
this
us,
country,
yeah.
don't we?
Yeah, but that's right. Okay. So Antonio Luna, once he decided he was going to be for the revolution, he was relentless.
Uh-huh.
The guy had no slack for anybody, because discipline was one of the things we needed.
Sure.
This is probably one of the themes of the
We
movie.
still do.
Which is, that's because it's relevant now. So that's probably one of the themes of the movie. And he really wanted to make us act and think like an army, so he had to train us. And in doing so, had to slap some people around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in public. Other generals like him, just to slap him around and said, "What were you when I asked for your help? You didn't help us. So many people died."
Right.
And he had this tragic flaw in him that I think, because he couldn't control his anger. If you're in a position of that power, he was the war minister. You got to keep your cool, in my opinion. But he didn't care about keeping
Well,
his cool.
Gibbs gets away with it from NCIS,
Well,
right? He
yeah.
slaps the... No,
Well,
I'm just joking.
yeah.
That's another subject
Slapping
matter.
is better than shooting.
There you go. Yeah, challenge him to a duel, and then. But Eliseo can tell you about the logistics of when the movie is going to be shown
Sure.
and when tonight.
Now, let me tell our listeners why it is that you're here as a guest promoting that. Because
Yeah.
you're a historian.
Yes, yeah.
For all intents and purposes. You were a professor in Philippine history for many years in San Francisco. You retired, sort of. But
Yeah.
like when I asked you if you'd still teach, and you said, yeah, if I had no choice, or if I were asked, or something like that. You had some witty answer
in
for me.
self-defense. I
Right,
teach,
I
yes,
think
yeah.
you said
Just
in
like
self-defense.
just like
I will only
dancing.
teach in self-defense.
Dancing too. I dance in self-defense. Yeah.
Okay, so and the passion for history came about
Yeah.
from where? I mean, where was that born? Because you were born here, I think.
No, I was born in Leyte. Then when I was 5, I grew up in Manila, and then I kept going to Leyte for my vacation. And then when I was 12, I came here.
Okay,
to
that's
the
why I knew you
Americas.
started. You had an early
Yeah,
start
very young.
in the States.
I was very young. Yeah,
Okay.
But I never really forgot the
Your roots,
Philippines
sure.
and the values that was inculcated in me. Now looking back at it,
And I know your parents, or your mom, was it, who was a teacher as well?
Yeah, my mom was a teacher as well. I hated helping her correct papers, and I said, "Man, I never do this shit again, never."
And you ate your words.
And I taught for 40 years, as long as she,
As long as she did,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Because she taught for 40 years. I saw this because I was watching your YouTube.
Yeah.
I did my homework, I'm telling
Oh,
you.
nice, yeah.
And Eliseo, you are the promoter and the producer for LA, I understand?
Promotor.
Oh, yeah. I was responsible for this area here. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the story was that it was Oscar who convinced the producer to get Philippine movies more support by using that mentality we have that if something succeeds in the U.S., we will support it back in the Philippines. So we have a role to play in building this new crop of amazing filmmakers and inspiring them to create films like these, because this is the kind of film that doesn't get a lot of support, a lot of love in our country, but it is really the central theme that we, Oscar and I, believe in, that will really surface our generation, And we believe that the generation of 1898, which General Luna belongs to, is the greatest generation we ever produced. And our generation, because of EDSA, is going to be there too. We're in
So
time.
colonial mentality still exists. We'll be right back.
Oh, yes.
Here at the Coffee Corner Radio. We're back at the Coffee Corner Radio here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. This is Thelma, together with Paul and Miss T, with Epi, the dog trainer, Abe Lagrimas Jr., the musical genius, and now we have Professor Oscar Peñaranda and artist Eliseo Art Silva, talking about General Luna. It's a bioepic on a Filipino hero. The last time they did a screening on him was in the year 1937, so it's quite amazing that we have him on the forefront again. Why this movie? Can anyone answer that, or do I need to speak with the producer on that? Why did they think about General
Well-
Luna and not any other, not Rizal? We did Rizal. We did Rizal not too long ago.
Yeah, number one is like you say, he's not well known,
Right.
although he deserves to be in the forefront.
Sure.
And number two, many of his situations are relevant today.
I agree.
Many of his the forces that was happening there, bad or good, are happening today.
They still
until today.
are.
So the movie was relevant to the producer and the director's mind. And I, as a reader and a writer, I read the book on Antonio Luna about 20 or 30 years ago, and this is the book that the filmmakers are using to base his life on.
That's why they got you as a consultant.
Well, that's
That
why
makes sense.
I asked him first whether you read the book. The director, I asked him, and he said, "Yeah, we're reading that book." So I said, "That's good. You know, just
That's the best book to
yeah,
base it on.
let's base it on, yeah."
And you know, before
By
we went
Vivencio Jose, I got to mention the author's name. You
Sure.
know, because, yeah.
I'm sorry, can you say that again, please?
By Dr. Vivencio Jose, The Rise and Fall of Antonio Luna.
Vivencio Jose. And
Yeah.
the producer's name is?
The producers are two, Rodriguez, Ortigas, Fernando Ortigas, and Eddie Rocha, two producers.
Spanish-sounding names.
Yeah, they look like Spanish folks. I met them. And the director is Gerald Tarog, a young guy who is a music major. The guy writes musical score.
Abe, did you hear that?
All right.
And went into
We're
film.
gonna work together.
All his films has his
He
own
did the
music.
music for this. Yeah.
And music for this too. And he's an editor, so he had his teeth cut as a filmmaker, even though he's still kind of young. I also liked his movie before this, which has nothing to do with the revolution and nothing to do with blood and guts, but it's a love story.
Oh.
It was a cute
What
one.
what was the title
It's
of
called
that movie?
Sana Dati. 2 years ago. Maybe we'll show that here too. Sana Dati.
But you're having the screening tonight.
Yes, tonight of Antonio Luna.
You wanna talk
And
to them
then,
about it?
Yeah, tonight at Krikorian Monrovia Cinema 12, it will be shown at 6:30 p.m. And you know, we have 265 seats, so we're
To
hoping
fill.
to fill. Yeah, so we're hoping you guys could get everybody, you know, to come and support this. Like I said, let me just correct a little bit what you said earlier about 1937. The movie 1937, which was during the American period, was of Zamboanga. That was the movie, and the movie focuses on the Pershing, you know, General Pershing against the Moros in the Philippines. So it's kind of similar. And the value of this movie is that we bring into focus our time when we called the shots. The Filipinos did. We created a republic. We called the shots. We were against a great nation like the United States. And the director brings you right there in the trenches with the perspective of the soldier fighting for his country against, you know, our home country now, the United States. So this is a narrative that's seldom known and talked about, and to experience being with them in solidarity with their cause. I think that is the important message of this movie. And General Luna is the best way to tell that story, because he was the guy who pushed for this, you know, this more or less the values of the American Revolution, to fight for your freedom. And he's also, like what you said, the only general that was schooled in warfare. That's why the Americans recognize him as the only general of the Philippine army.
And what a fine actor you chose for the role, John Arcilla. I love the guy.
He's good.
Well,
Yeah.
He was-
Thelma, I wanted to ask a quick,
Yes.
quick
Okay, go
question.
ahead, go
To the professor.
Yeah.
What can the audience expect from this movie? Is this an action, romance, documentary? What kind of a film is this?
Yeah, it's a feature film, but it's largely based on on the factual life of Antonio Luna. So it's not really a documentary, because he did take some liberties in the narrative of the films that was not historical. No, but that's okay with me, as far as I'm concerned. You can have a historical movie and say a lot without really being 100% historical. I mean, who the hell is 100% historical anyways? Nobody, right? So everybody always needs to have different sources. So this is a good one source for the time of the revolution. Your question was what?
Well, what kind of action? Is it action, romance? Is it what can they expect?
Genre.
It has a lot of action. It has a lot of action. It has a good story. It has stories of betrayal, and it has stories of also the different hierarchies as who's the boss. He was the head of the army, so he was everybody's boss. But when his mother told him to shut up, no question, he
Can I
shut
add a
up
little
right
bit
away.
something on
Yeah.
that?
Sure.
Yeah, we usually expect some kind of a stiff representation of heroes when we have Filipino films on heroes. This is what's different about this movie. It's really more like Braveheart, or you know, the Patriot. You know, it's like,
Inspiring.
yeah, this movie is really like a human being. You know, the story is more universal than showing
Human interest.
Yeah, human
Yeah.
interest. It's not like a textbook historical figure kind of movie.
I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
that?
yeah.
I saw
It's
the
like
trailer.
using the historical figure as an excuse to tell a story about a human being.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. That's what makes us different.
So again, tonight,
Yeah.
6:30 p.m., General Luna, Krikorian Theater in Monrovia. Do you have the address? Or they can look it up.
Myrtle Avenue, exit.
Myrtle Avenue.
Yeah, just go straight down to downtown. You'll see the theater. It's gonna have big neon lights.
Well, I will give everyone here a chance to say goodbye. Starting off with Epi.
It was a pleasure. I mean, honor to be here. I had a great time.
Thank you. We love having you, Epi. Abe.
Always great seeing you guys.
Likewise.
Yeah.
And of course, Eliseo.
Honored to be here. Thank you so much for inviting us.
And Professor.
Sure, thank you for giving us the opportunity to let the people know.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much.
I have no choice. I have to be here.
He's the only one that gets getting paid too, isn't he? No wonder.
I'm one of the hosts.
There you go.
Well, we thank you all for joining us here at the Coffee Corner Radio. And all of us want you to say we're going to be here next month here at the
Coffee
Corner Radio.
Radio.
We'll see you. Thanks again, Justin. And thank you, Carl and Jerry. We'll be right back.